Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Super Mario Odyssey playthrough. So, we managed to make it through the Seaside Kingdom, and now it is time to go eat a little bit, I think, because we're heading straight on into the Luncheon Kingdom, and it's going to be incredibly exciting, I have to say. And yes, Cappy, I know how to do a side somersault. I've been doing quite a lot of them. Well, I could probably be doing more side somersaults, because they're very helpful, especially if you want to get that extra bit of height. In fact, in a later hat door challenge, you're pretty much required to use your side somersaults if you aren't good at anything else. But yes, the Broodals are after some cooking. And yeah, the Luncheon Kingdom is a fascinating one in terms of its design and feel. It's really exciting because it's just so incredibly different to pretty much all the other kingdoms in the game. Because it's got that sort of low polygonal look to it, but then you've got the food element, it's the lava world of the game, and it just feels very fresh because we're all used to the kind of lava magma worlds in Mario. It's pretty much a thing that we are so used to that it's just like, yeah, fire world, there we go, done and dusted. But it's just quite fun because it's so different, and I really love that. I mean, I'm not quite sure about the pink goop that is everywhere, because I'm kind of just like, but what is this pink goo? Because it's basically lava, but it doesn't look like lava, and it's sort of meant to be food-ish related, but I'm not sure what food it is. Whereas everything else you can sort of put a food type to it, so kind of the piles are all salt. You've got these, which is obviously sweet corn or corn on the cob. You've got the tomatoes that are made up of lava. And we are gonna get very foodie as we progress. Because, I mean, we're pretty much near the town, and as you can probably guess, there's going to be a lot of weird residents of this place. But before we can do that, we've got another fight with the Broodals. You may have noticed Rango is nowhere to be seen. But this time it is time. Too many times, who cares? But it's another chance to bring the hurt to spew it. So we are just gonna end him quite quickly, I feel. I'm gonna see, am I gonna do it as quickly as possible? I.e., yes, get in there past me. You're doing the good work in terms of beating Spewart as quickly as is humanly possible. And really, this just makes Spewart, without a doubt, the easiest of the Broodals to take down. Because pretty much he will always go towards you when he goes into his hat to spew more poison gunk. So you've pretty much got to remember that he's heading towards you. If you jump at the right time and land on him, that cuts out that cycle and starts the next cycle, and you can hit him before he can start spewing out more gunk, and then he can't really get an attack in on you. So, yeah, definitely just keep that in mind whenever you're facing him down. But here we go, the proper sort of hub bit of the Luncheon Kingdom. And that is, we're about to get its name, but it's the Peronza Plaza, which is great. And you can sort of begin to see the Italian influences that fill out the Luncheon Kingdom. I'm not quite sure why they decided to go with Italy for this. Part of me thinks it's because a lot of the name links are to do with Mount Vesuvius. Because ever so slightly, the volcano in this area is called Mount Volbono, which sort of relinks to Mount Vesuvius in a way. Because, I mean, if you're looking at the alternate names for Mount Volbono, the Japanese is Borobono, which is Volbono. The Spanish is Monte Delisubio, which comes from Monte Vesubio, which is Mount Vesuvius, and Delicioso for delicious. The French is Piton de Fruno, which is actually not based on Vesuvius, but is in fact based on Piton de la Fournaise. And the Piton de la Fournaise is Peak of the Furnace, which is a shield volcano on the eastern side of the Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, and it's one of the most active volcanoes in the world, so it makes sense that they reference that. But it's only really the Spanish that makes reference to Mount Vesuvius, which is a bit odd, because the Dutch is Vorkanland, Vork is the fork, Vulkan is volcano and then land. The German is Schmauspitz, which is feast peak, quite fitting. The Italian is Monte Vulcanbon, which is volcano, and bon being French for good, which is effectively where the the whole Volbono comes from, because it's volcano and like bon, which is good, so it's good volcano effectively, which is a bit strange if you ask me, but I can deal with that. The versions of the names for the Luncheon Kingdom itself are actually kind of different, because we get Luncheon, which I feel works quite nicely, Luncheon, because it's one of those words that not many people tend to use, so it sounds slightly fitting for a kingdom, whereas pretty much most of the other languages have a very bland, I want to say, versions of the names. So the Japanese the Japanese version of the name is Ryori no Kuni, which is cooking country. The Spanish is Reino de los Fogones, or something, which is Stove's Kingdom. The French is Pays de la Cuisine, which is cooking country. The Dutch is Koekdrik, or Koekdrik, I don't know, it's cooking realm. The German is Schlemmerland, which is gourmet country. Italian is Regno de Fornelli, Stove's Kingdom. And then you've pretty much, it's culinary cooking. I mean, the Russian is, oh god, Kulina Moye Svastvo, I think. The Korean is Yori Wanguk, and the Chinese is Liao Li Guo, I think. And it's culinary cooking. So I think Luncheon works out best, actually. Even though it probably doesn't necessarily have much, well, it has to do with food, I suppose. But yeah, I prefer Luncheon to pretty much everything else that is presented to us in terms of those, which is strange, because you would have thought that that wouldn't be the case, but it is. But yes, it's really when you get into Peronza Plaza that you do begin to see the really low polygonal element of this. I think part of the reason that this is the style here is because obviously heat is very much a part of glassmaking. And it would make sense, in a way, that when you are so close to a volcano, you would get sort of these crystallised, glassy fruits, almost. So, most common types of glass are silicate glasses, which are based on the chemical compound silica, which is silicon dioxide or quartz, which is pretty much the main constituent of sand. So, you're pretty much dealing with, yeah, sand is how you make, well, quartz is how you make glass. And quartz is the second most abundant mineral in the Earth's continental crust. So, quartz is effectively formed from sort of magma and lava and stuff. I think. Don't quote me on that one, please. Because... yeah. Yes, I am correct. The majority of quartz crystallizes from molten magma. Get in there! So, you're effectively getting sort of these gemstone-y fruits, which makes sense, because, yeah, it's in a sort of lava region. And I think that's just really quite cool. And I think we've got enough to get the first outfit, so I think we're going to go buy it, because it certainly makes sense to do. And also, I love that the Volbonans are all forks. Not kind of other types of cutlery. They're forks. I don't know why. Part of me feels like we should have some spoon ones, we should have some knife ones, but no, they're just forks. And also, oh god. Oh, it's terrifying. It's worse than, like, it. I'm just gonna have to think of the greatest show, where it's covered in all the colour lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show. Because, yeah, I'm a little bit addicted to The Greatest Showman. Majorly addicted to its soundtrack. I've basically been singing it on repeat for pretty much every day since I saw the film, which was on my birthday. So, at this point, that's been about a week of constant Greatest Showman singing. So, yeah, a little bit addicted. But that's fine, because we're now in a chef's costume, and that's not as terrifying as the clown, and that makes me happy. But yes, this is a relatively interesting little mini area. We have to get a Podoboo. I'm pretty sure these are Podoboos. I'm just going to double check that, actually. Oh no, they're not actually called Podoboos. Oh no, they're sometimes called Podoboos. These are lava bubbles. It just depends on what game as to what they're actually called. But I've always called them Podoboos. So that's what I'm going to call them. And come on! God damn it. Yeah! This second one's a little bit more difficult to get than it perhaps should be, and I kind of just got majorly screwed over there. Like, I was so close, and then it just decided to screw me over. And I think the game decided that it didn't like me anymore. It's for me insulting the clown outfit, I'll tell you that now. The clown is going to come and get me, and that's going to be awful. And that's why it's making it so difficult to get this particular power moon, because I think on the first time that I did this moon, I did actually manage to get it in one hit. But clearly, life was not being fair to me in this instance until then, and then I was just like, oh, thank God for that. Part of me was thinking, oh, I do want those coins over there, but then the other part of me was just like, no, just get the power moon and get out of here. Because you know that you're going to regret sticking around that long. And if you head to the turnips here, there's a golden one! And these golden ones also lead to power moons, which is quite nice and helpful. I think there's 3 of them in total, hidden throughout the Luncheon Kingdom. And that's the easiest one. The others are a lot more difficult to locate, and if you have located them, they're a lot more difficult to actually get back to that stew pot. And I like how you're trying to hide these purple coins under the bridge. It's not going to work. Because, I mean, there's like 100 of these blighters, and I kind of need to get them all, because otherwise my brain's just going to go, nope, what are you doing? Make sure that you collect them all. Don't be a daft idiot. Because the completionist in me, it likes collecting everything. Anybody who's watched, or is watching the Hellfire Comms playthrough this knows, my OCD with purple coins and easy to get moons is quite insane, and fighting that is nigh on impossible, actually, I would say. Because everything is just sort of so easy to get that you kind of just like, it's right there, therefore I need to get it, and when you kind of miss where ones are, you're just like, oh. Especially when it's in a relatively easy to locate location. You're only missing it because you're being an idiot. Yeah, that's when it just gets worse. Because there are definitely a few situations where we've had that already in this very playthrough, where there are some really brilliantly easy to get moons and purple coins that I've just walked past and been a daft sod with. But yes, I do quite like this particular hat door, because we get to use the forks to flick ourselves up, and it's just a really, really satisfying one to do, because it just feels so intuitive to just flick yourself up into the air. It's just a delight. Especially considering, you know, you're throwing Cappy, and Cappy's going all over the place, and you're being able to stay in the air, and yeah, it's just fun, and I find it so fun. And that was stupid of me. That was well done, past me. That was brilliantly executed, showing just why I love this particular secret area. I still do. I think part of it is the music. I'm a massive fan of this piece of music. It's just, yeah, it's just got that fun factor about it. And yeah, I can't say enough nice things about this piece of music, and I don't know why I was thinking of heading up on top of here, but hey, I get free coins out of it. It's pretty much the case with most of these areas, as I'm sure you've realised by this point. Most things, if they've got nothing on top of them, they might have something invisible in them. And I mean, that makes sense. And, you know, I was just gonna take the fork, but then I thought, no, I'm not gonna take the fork. The fork's the easy way. I'm going to take the more difficult way and actually, you know, have a bit of fun with my platforming. And then on the way back, it's just like, no, I'm just going to take the fork, because really, I don't want to die after that. So it's just a case of, yeah, let's just do it that way, and then that's a lot easier. And now, I don't know quite what I'm doing right now. I think I'm trying to get... Oh! I was actually able to. I'm quite happy with that. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get back up. But yes, I think we've spent quite a bit of time having a stroll around the Luncheon Kingdom. So we should probably actually get the, you know, the second story moon, so that we can, you know, actually continue through the rest of the Luncheon Kingdom. It's the thing with Odyssey. It's very, 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 very easy to end up getting monumentally sidetracked by pretty much anything. I mean, already I'm still ignoring the story moon. Still! And it's not even a difficult story moon to get, we just need to capture a frying bro, as I'm going to name them. In fact, they might actually be called frying bros. No, they are skillet-throwing hammer bros. I'm just going to call them frying bros, because they're throwing frying pans, and it's hilarious. And it's so satisfying, because you get to destroy cheese with a frying pan. Well, it's a skillet. With a hammer brother. The enemies that are most commonly one of the most infuriating enemies ever to witness in a Mario game, because, you know, they just hurt so badly. So getting to take control of them, it's mwah, it's beautiful. But there we go, there's our story moon, that's what we wanted to get. And let's just continue exploring the Luncheon Kingdom and see what awaits us.